case. So yes, welcome to the Navigating Submittable workshop. Let me pull up the presentation for everybody, and I will start that slideshow properly so that you are not staring at all of my screen. Okay, great. Hi, welcome. Welcome to Navigating Submittable. I am Carrie. I am one of the grant managers here at the Commission. Feel free, if you have questions during this, to drop them in chat. I've got a couple of breakpoints. Every time I have done this workshop, it has been a fairly short one. We'll go through all the material and then I will stick around for a good chunk of time to answer any questions that have come up. So really this is mostly focused on navigating the new platform. I'm happy to answer other questions about any of the programs, or to gently defer you to a different colleague of mine who can better answer questions. All right. So this is our using Submittable. We always like to start our events with a land acknowledgement to recognize the CAH and the Piscataway people, the first residents of the land that would become the District of Columbia. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will, some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land for more generations than can be counted. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We begin this effort to acknowledge what has been buried by honoring the truth. We stand on the ancestral lands of the Nacotchtank and the Piscataway people. We pay respect to their elders past and present. Please take a moment to consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public events and to use such truths to guide the legacy of this Arts Commission. I'm going to have that memorized one of these days. A few more folks in. Okay. All right. Just a quick note on accessibility. This affects all of our programs, not just the GOS, but any program we may offer. We do have translation services available. Google Translate is available on our website. There's that nice little select language module at the top of our, I think it's top right-hand corner of all of our web pages. It is powered by Google. It's not perfect, but it's there. So that is available as a service. We do also have additional language access programs available if you do need them, or if you need any other reasonable accommodation requests, please contact us. We have our CAH accessibility@dc.gov email, preferably no later than 5 business days before the start of an event. And then for any other questions, you can direct them to CAH@dc.gov. Also, if you do not remember that CAH accessibility email, you can email any grant manager that you have a relationship with and say, hey, I need some help with accessibility. We will contact that coordinator on your behalf. And that is for, like I said, more than grants. You can use that for any of our programs if we're going to be hosting a public event and you need a sign language interpreter or something like that. Let us know so we can make accommodations. All right. And this is just my preliminary plug that we are going to be looking for some grant review panelists. We'd like to talk to people soon and start locking down some dates. All of our grants are subject to an external review by a panel of artists and arts administrators. We'd like to have the community have a say in what we are supporting. And we are looking for diversity in all forms: their age, race, gender, disability, sexual orientation, artistic discipline, location, etc. And so that is an opportunity that we would love to extend to you, to all of your friends, and to all of your enemies. Whoever might be interested. We do have a lot of panels and a lot of programs through the year, so if it doesn't work for your schedule in the spring, maybe it does in the summer. We could talk. All right. And then I have here the schedule for the GOS, the General Operating Support workshops and live chats. This is just for this program. We're pretty far into the program. We've already hit down near the bottom at April 23rd. This is the Navigating Submittable workshop. This is the last of them. Monday was the last of our regular GOS workshops. We do have some live chats still. We have a live chat tomorrow from 1:30 to 3, and we have a live chat, an extended live chat next Tuesday, the 28th. If you've been on the GOS workshops, you'll know that I have asked that if you would like a review of any of your materials to get on our schedules by the 28th. So that just needs to be by close of business, like 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 28th. You need to have sent an email to me or to one of my colleagues that says, hey, I would like to have a review of my materials. You don't have to be fully scheduled for it, but just the request needs to be in. And we ask that we have that week so we have the time to look at materials, set up a time to talk to you, and get you some feedback, and that we've got enough time to make it worthwhile. We will still have our live chat on May 1st, and then this grant closes at 5 p.m. on May 5th. Uh, this is, like I said, this is just general operating support. The projects, events, and festivals and East Arts grants opened this week. They should be open as well. And we'll talk about that a bit today as far as navigating submittable. They will continue to have live chats. They have their own workshop schedule. You should see all of those in Eventbrite. That is going to be our most up-to-date schedule and availability of all events. And for the most part, for these workshops, for anything that we're putting out from the grants team, we try to keep the link stable. So if you register for one event, you are registered. You now have the link for all of that series. All right. That's over-explaining calendars, but it felt good. Okay, let's talk about accessing applications. We are on Submittable now. For this FY27 cycle and moving forward, we're on Submittable. We are not using the old platform. You may have heard us call it Jungle Lasers. You may have heard us call it the Grants Portal, but that platform is effectively dead to us. We can, if there is some file you need us to retrieve, we have a limited access to retrieving old files and old documentation, but for the most part, we do not have access to it anymore. So we're going to be on Submittable going forward. Woo! Um, so logging into your account, um, couple of things. If you are brand new to the process, you will register with Submittable. Um, you should, if you are a returning applicant, you have applied to us at any time in the last 14-ish years. It is a long span of time, and it may be a case of your organization applied to a grant from us 10 years ago, and you had a lot of staff turnover, and you forgot that that happened, um, but that email did still exist in our records. Uh, you should have received an email from Submittable. Uh, we have had a few cases of that. So if you are a returning applicant in any way, you should have received emails from Submittable about the new account. It may have gone to the spam folder. We have had some reports of these messages going to spam and getting routed to spam. It is a new system. If you did receive the email, then either there should have been a username and a link to reset the password. If there was a username and link, then the address is new to Submittable. And there's no other account other than our DC Commission on the Arts account. And then you should be able to click through and reset the password there. If there is no username and no reset link in that email, then there was already a Submittable account associated with that email address. That may be a case of, hey, 10, 12 years ago, somebody in your organization applied to a grant and they were using Submittable. And it wasn't us, it was another organization or funder. And so that email is now in the system and Submittable found it and linked it up. We have had cases of that as well. Either way, if you are having issues logging in, you want to reach out to submitter support at submittable.com and they'll help you reset your passwords and get access to your account. One thing they do not have access to is any of your old files. When we did the data migration over, we were able to move basic information, but we could not move, 15 years worth of files. Excuse me. So I know that in past years, it's been a case of, oh, well, your old applications are probably there. You can probably download the files. Those are not going to be there for you. It's a very limited thing. It was just too much data for us to migrate over. So we have transferred the profiles over. Like I said, if you have a desperate need for something, we have some limited access to the old portal, and could try and retrieve it, but not a guarantee. All right. Sorry, my throat is very dry. My pollen is really hitting me today. One of my additional notes here is just uh, this is a great time to check in on the emails you have in your organization or for yourself, what email goes where. Because we have heard from folks who, somebody who used to work there was the one who set up the account and now you don't have access, or there's been turnover of some other kind, or the person who did that work has moved into a different part of the office. Lots of different situations, all of them perfectly reasonable. But it's a good time to check in and make sure you maybe consider having a stable email for things like this that's just like info at, grants at, whatever it needs to be. Uh, just so it's when you have to do that kind of turnover, it's just, it's the password reset, kick somebody out thing rather than we have to fully restructure things. Okay. Also, just good to check in on all the emails anyway. If you've got any dead emails or you don't need that name anymore, it's good housekeeping. It's spring cleaning time. Um, and for best results for our applications, we do want to recommend everybody save and upload all grant application materials as PDF files. If you are having any problems with that, if you have any tech issues, anything like that, do please reach out to us, reach out to a grant manager. We are so good at this. We have been converting everything to PDF. We're so happy to share that knowledge with everyone. All right, so for any of our grants, uh, just general guidance, read the request for application guidelines. The full guidelines are on our website. But you want to read through all of them. We do have workshops. We do have workshop recordings on our YouTube page, but you do want to read through those guidelines. We do not cover absolutely everything in the workshops. You want to read those guidelines. Then we're going to have, determine your eligibility. We do have the eligibility and exclusions in all of the RFAs. And then you're going to go apply for grants and you're going to select the grant application portal to register as a user. All of our applications now are only available through Submittable. When you register or when you log in, you will select your grant program. You will complete your applications and your narrative data, upload required documents, any supplementary materials and work samples, double check your application, and get a confirmation email because you've submitted. A lot of this is kind of similar to how it's been in the past. We've tried to keep it as similar to the prior year applications as we can for this year, and just, try and keep it as the great trauma is just we move to a new system. So, but accessing it, go to our website, click on programs, and in the drop-down menu, you should find grants. There is also underneath this banner that says Welcome to the DC Commission on the Arts, there are some icons, and one of those icons is apply for grants. And you should, if you click on that, it will take you to the next page. So this is the CAH grants page. Here you'll find current funding opportunities. So right now that is this general operating support. It's the Public Art Buildings Community, PABC grant. The Art Bank is open. East Arts and Projects, Events, and Festivals are open. Yes, that's all who's open right now. All of our future grants that will open will be there as well. You'll also find here links to information about application assistance, if you want to recruit folks to be panelists for us, any forms that we may be asking for, we've got link outs to those, and of course, the portal. When you click on that grant application portal for Submittable, And we do have the old portal still listed, but that's going away. So we've got the submittable option. You will land here. This is our new welcome page. They do have a lot of helpful tips and tricks and tools and support available in that resource center. So under the section that says technical questions, the resource center and customer support are really helpful. A lot of things that one thing to really be aware of that is uh, this auto saves really nicely. You know, you do want to save as you go, but there is an auto save feature in Submittable. We're less likely to lose everything. You may have experienced in the old portal things disappearing because there was a reset. It's got an auto save. You should receive a confirmation email when you submit, and you want to make sure that you're getting that through, that it's not getting routed to spam. So, a lot of these images are from one of our other programs that I have borrowed, but they're going to be the same for most things that we have going through here. So you're going to sign in or sign up. So you've got our program. You'll have multiple programs, and you'll be able to apply from there. Uh, you're going to sign in if you already have the account. Most folks do. Or you're going to sign up if you're brand new. Then you're going to start the application. And it's just going to be a scroll through, like all the way down. There's not going to be a second page, really. It's just going to be a continuous scroll. We do have guidance on things as you go through. We'll talk about some pieces there. Like I said, it should auto-save as you go, but it doesn't hurt to click save. I always feel better when I click save. So we have the things like the overview. This is where you're going to give us that basic information. Uh, first step actually is you're going to have the eligibility questions. That's going to move you into this next part where we do the application itself. So this is where you're going to have things like your organization name, your project name, how are you applying, beginning and end dates for your fiscal years, things like that. Then we're going to go into the request details. This is going to be where we'll ask for any statements. For general operating support, this is where we're going to ask for things like your budget narrative, your program descriptions. You can have a couple of programs for the coming year that we're going to want some descriptions on, and things like that. We do have here with all of this a word limit that is in the bottom right-hand corner of each of the boxes. It'll help keep track of how we're going. There are some limited options for formatting. So you've got some, you can see them kind of here in the skinny box right above the main box. So we do have bold, italic, and underline. We can do some bullet points and things. You know, a little bit of formatting fun. But that's where we'll have this. As you get further into the profile, and then I'm going to skip through these. A lot of this is real straightforward stuff. In the work sample uploads and the document uploads, you're going to find some guidance on that, where we're going to ask you for things like your 990s, a budget form, W-9, statement of certification, a lot of the usual paperwork that we ask for. What you are going to find here that's really significant and different is that we have these file types here. So underneath this, on the right-hand side, under the work sample upload box, very faintly in gray, it says upload a file. No files have been attached yet. Acceptable file types, .pdf, .jpeg, .jpeg, .tiff, .tiff. TIFF and TIFF, how do I do two Fs? And you're going to see that on all of the boxes. We have restricted some of the boxes for file types. I mentioned we really want PDFs for most documentation, so that's what we're restricting you to. So if you have a Word document, it's not going to go. If you have a Pages document, it's not going to go through. It's going to be a PDF, unless it is otherwise noted. I think for some of the budget forms, we'll take an Excel file. We're happy to take an Excel file, but we're really trying to restrict it to PDF. Part of this is security. It's easier, your documents cannot be edited that way. We can't, or not edited easily, so we want to keep your data a little more secure. It's also easier to open. We here at the Commission are using Windows-based operating systems. I cannot open not Microsoft, the other one, Apple. Um, I can't open a Macintosh or an Apple-based file easily. So those things like numbers or pages are difficult for us to view. And likewise, passing that down towards our panelists, we want to make sure that it's easy and openable and accessible for them to view. For things like the work samples, if I talked earlier about images or video or audio or things like that. Excuse me, we do have a much more expanded view. You will see all of those file endings under that section. We have tried to be as broad as we can there. I don't know if folks remember a few years ago, one of my great nightmares was that people were taking photos with an iPhone and uploading those images, which would be so great and so convenient, except that that file type is a .heic, and our portal at the time did not support that file. But we've solved that, and now
Hmm.
things will be great, and you can take pictures with your phone. And now I'm happy, and I want to share that joy with everyone. Um, I think I have a section on that. Um, I want to add one more thing on that. Nope, I want to go back to this. As an additional note on work samples, we have in the past said, oh, just give us a link to YouTube. We don't have that option. We do not want outside external links, and we don't have an embedded YouTube player in this portal. We would like the actual file. We do accept a lot of files. We're also very happy to help you if you are downloading you have a video you want to use and it only exists on YouTube now, you don't have the raw file or anything like that. We're very happy to help you with downloading that and getting that uploaded. But we don't want external links there. Okay. Additional uploads are going to be much the same as they have been. PDFs, again, for everything. That's always great. We are going to want some compliance documents. This is not any different from prior years. We do have the templates and we do have access to all of those documents on our website. It's going to be under the resources for grant applications. We do have, for most of them, a link out underneath that box, which will take you directly to the template, usually in a fillable form. There's one or two where we're going to need a signature on it as well. And we would like that to be a manual signature, either ink or you signed with your phone, with your finger on your phone, something like that. Or we want a verified digital signature like DocuSign or Adobe. Again, if you have any problems with that or navigating that, let us know so we can help. And that was the majority of it. That was my crash course in Submittable. Um, Thanks, everyone. I saw a couple of questions. Let me pull those up. Um, Can more than one person from an organization update an application? You're going to want that to be using the same login. As long as they have access to the login, they can update the application, but we don't really have the multiple users in the application option. So we're going to want that to be, so if you are going to have multiple people working, make sure they all have access to the account. And since that is, I saw yep, thank you. Perfect. All right, so that was my speed run through. So yeah, I'm here to take questions. Yeah, feel free to unmute yourselves, anything like that. I will stop sharing this screen so we can all look at each other again, and we can go from there.
I have a quick question if nobody is uh, asking something.
Yeah.
So I'm in Submittable now, and
Uh-huh.
for example, I'm just testing this out.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
at resumes of key personnel.
Yes.
Um, so let's see here. Okay, so that is just one file. Okay, so they're just letting us. It's just one file. Is there parts
I
where it's two files that we can upload, or everything is just one file
Let me
on the questions, for
give
example?
me 1 second there.
Up to, or let me.
I
Maybe.
think it should allow you to put in additional files.
Got it. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great.
Just didn't
Yeah, I
want to
think
touch something and mess it up. Okay. Yes.
stuff
I did.
happens. No, it should accept multiple files in that section. Yeah.
Yeah, I did for the work samples. Yes. Of course, for the right for resume of key personnel, it's all going to be one
Okay.
thing. I understand. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Super. And then Sharita, I see your hand.
Hi, I have a question regarding the files.
Hmm.
Does Submittable accept zip files or compressed files?
We don't love those. Um, but if you have, why don't you send me an email? Let me put my email in the chat.
Okay.
Um, and we can talk about that. We don't, I, I think Submittable will accept them. We just don't love them because then you have to download them and extract them, and it's a whole
Yeah.
thing on people's computers. But I'm happy to talk with you about solutions, especially for very specific file types.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, just as a reminder for everyone, this is also new to us. We are working with you, so we're navigating a couple of things, but we're very happy to be available for tech support and tech solutions, and thinking through the best way to get the application looking the way you want it to. A request for insurance. Yes, great question. That is going to be dependent on the application itself. So we do, for most of our grants, for our project-based grants, and our organizational grants, we do require general liability insurance. Um, and we will want to see the cover sheet for that. Um, and if you do not have insurance at the time of the application, that's okay. You can have a quote. If it's a thing your organization doesn't have it. But I would, for anything, do read through the RFAs, read through the request for applications before you go for that. The screenshots that I had were from our Color the Curb program, so they required a certain degree of
Okay.
insurance. Um, for general operating support, we want your general liability insurance for your organization, which we assume you have.
I'm applying for the art bank.
You're not going
So
to need
it's,
it.
I don't need it. Yeah, great. I
You
don't
don't need
remember
it.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we're not gonna, if we don't ask for it, you don't need it. And do not think you need it. I have this conversation every year with all the individual awards, and I'm just like, I don't need it. You get
Okay.
your own insurance for your own life, but I don't need it.
Great.
Um,
Yeah. I noticed that and I don't remember that from last year for the art banks.
no, that was Color the Curb did require liability insurance
Okay.
because of the type of project that you're
Right.
doing. But we do have guidance about insurance requirements for anyone. And like I said, for any organization, especially for the capacity building folks, if it's your first time applying and you don't necessarily have that insurance, you're not at that stage yet, we'd like a quote. You don't have to pay for it yet, but we'd like a quote that you've at least looked at it.
Thanks.
Yeah. Catherine, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I apologize. I got called away in the middle, and so this might have been answered. When I logged into Submittable, everything was great.
Yeah,
I couldn't find the new GOS application. I could find all my old applications and where to submit a report. Um,
cool.
do I have to go to the GOS application on the DCAH website? Is there a way to find it already in Submittable?
I mean, you should be able to, but I
Okay,
don't know, so I'm just going to give you the link to the direct one.
cool. I found the direct
That's how
link
we'll
on the
solve that
website.
problem.
I just didn't know if that was going to create an issue if I like didn't enter the right way.
It shouldn't.
Okay,
It should not cause an issue, but I'm going to just drop the
no
submission
worries.
link here.
Appreciate you.
Because
I
I'm
will.
I'm still learning all the ways to find stuff. So we're
No
all learning
worries.
together.
I will try not and be a problem child. I promise.
I look, everybody's allowed to be a problem child. I'm the biggest one. No, but that is my warning and my request for patience with all of us at the commission. If we ever tell you as a response to a question, can we get back to you? It's usually us going and figuring it out.
Appreciate
Yes.
you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Marcella.
Thank you. Sorry. Um, so I remember in the past, and I'm sorry, I haven't gone through the whole thing. For example, I uploaded resumes of key personnel, right? I didn't upload um all of the attachments.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make sure it's the right document, but it won't allow me to open it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. I
um,
know what you mean, but oh,
like,
people are calling me? Ew.
how do I explain this? Is it gonna, am I gonna be able to, at the end, when I'm ready to submit, just make sure like the right documents are in the right places? Because I remember in the last, oh,
You
I
should
can't
be.
say.
No, I got you. I'm filling in the blanks.
Like, you
You
know
should
how
be
in the
able
past you can
to.
click
Yeah,
and
you
see
get the
if
check.
you, yeah, uploaded
Yeah,
the right thing and not like some other document that's not. Let me just
you
check.
should be able to. It should be
I
able
don't
to
know
let
if it
you
like
check before the
I don't
end.
know.
But let me I'm gonna just make a note to myself to play around with this, and I might get you an email by the end of the day
Okay,
that just says, here's
let
what
me
I
do this. I don't know
you're
if you can
fine.
like this
Um,
thing, you know.
yeah, it just has the
I'm
trash
trying to
button.
see if I did the right resume and it won't let me.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's
Yeah,
just
let me play around.
okay.
I've got my dummy applications. I'll see if I can solve it for you.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
to make it easier to like, you know,
No, I
we go
completely
in the,
understand
you
that.
know.
I'm gonna make that note and I'm going to double check things.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. I created a Submittable account a couple
Mm-hmm.
of years ago,
Yeah.
and I want to change the email address that I use for my account.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Does it
completely
allow me
normal.
to do that?
Yeah, there should be a manage profile option.
Oh, okay.
Um, let me go take a look at stuff real quick. I have Submittable open in so many tabs right now. Yeah, there should be a settings. Uh, fun. It should be under under some part of the settings or other parts of updating your profile, you should be able to change the email address. But
Okay.
also if it runs into a weird spot where it will not let you do that, for any reason, send that email to the submitter support. Let me grab that email address as well. Yeah, I know there's a lot of that email address worked really well 10 years ago, but not anymore. For a lot of folks. Let me make sure I get that email address for people, and I will put that here. Yeah, if you have any issues with that kind of update, talk to the folks at Submitter Support, um,
Okay.
and that will hopefully solve things for you. Yeah. All right. Yeah, if folks have more questions, I'll stick around for another few minutes, but if you are feeling good or at least content to wait for a message from me, I will see you later.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Got it. Quick question, sorry.
Yeah, all good.
Way too many questions today. Did you say the district funding form, for example, that goes in Excel, or do you also want that PDF? Or everything PDF?
Oh, whatever file format type it will allow you to upload it as.
Oh, okay.
If it says PDF only, we want it PDF only. I think it has an Excel option. Excel is fine.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, as long as the file type is listed underneath the box, we will absolutely take it.
Okay.
The system will reject it if it's the wrong file type.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, Sorry. Another question. Who
Oh,
are
you're fine.
email